There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who waiting to sell. Blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers are giving us here and the promise of them. The work of my life without fear.
A lyrical
Master.
Cleverly so make you I can't Sktv menu. Say my journey, Tina can I say my yamo. And yes I know money, the more I know. And you love me, the more I know.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the biggie, and I don't get it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmother.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talk it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who waiting to sell. Blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, Sano to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, Sktv, we are the best in Liberia. Sktv, we are the best in Africa. Sktv, we are the best around the world. Folks, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. It's good to be back on a fresh working Monday. For a matter of fact, this Monday is the last Monday in the month of April. Today is the 27th day in the month of April. That means we're going 27 days. How many more days to go? 3 more days, right? We'll be saying bye-bye to April and be welcoming May. For a matter of fact, my birth month, my birthday is set to be on Friday by the grace of God. If God gave me another opportunity to be alive, I'm going to see that day on Friday. Yes, indeed. So again, folks, good afternoon to all of you. Help us share the show. Those of you who are watching, please help us share the show. Those of you who are joining, that's the best thing to do. Always when you come here, we are appealing to all of you. Give us like, comment, and share. The rest of the team will be here this evening. Monk, Brother Aliu, and Mr. Dishu. I know there are a series of concerns, and also we've been observing few things happening with our page quite recently. But again, we will address that when our team come on, because we've been experiencing, or in fact, we've been experiencing a little faint with some of the, with the black and white thing. But again, first we here, help us share the show. Today is our Monday. It's good to be here, people. It's good to be here. So many things happening in Liberia. The AFL recruitment exercise is ongoing, and a series of activities. Our president, my own deacon, is still out of the country in the US, where he's saying that everything is okay back home. At least we are doing far better than yesterday, according to our president. So at least we are okay. Thank God. Thank you, my deacon President Wakai, for that statement. At least it's, and I can say one better than zero. And so at least if I to say it, if I would try. But again, folks, help us share the show. Those of you who are watching, please, that's the best thing to do. Frederick Talu, thank you for joining us. Sifas, also thank you for joining us. And those of you who are also watching, help us share the show. I'm doing that already. So there are a lot of you been reaching out. Maybe we heard that in fact, you went at the barrier there before. So give us some of the updates, some of the happening. In fact, you went there. What happened? People just asking, people texting me, maybe when they say you went there before, what happened? Well, I'll give you my own little experience about that entire exercise, the recruitment, and what happened, some of the tests, some of the things. But by then, let me tell you a short story quick. By then, some of us, when we were having that zest, yes, when we were having that energy by them to join the military, but then it was the SSR. That was the SSR security sector reform. I don't know how many of you that know about that. SSR trim the first, second, Martin up to the fourth batch. I think need that up to the maybe the third, fourth batch before turning over to Liberians and maybe other people. Even though they are still into some of the training activity, they still observing the process as to what going on, what go back, what. So it's all started when when I came, the school during the war time, and we there was no school after in fact 2003, World War I, World War II, all that time school closed, no way. So some of us I was in Zwedru, in fact, it ain't even Zwedru, but Putu, let me just say it so that some of you can know today that there were some of us started our schooling and so forth. So in Putu, going to school. When the war came, we went to Zwedru, we were still schooling, and after that again, we take another life struggle. We found ourselves in Monrovia. Yeah. That's it. I'll give you a small stories. So when we came, or in fact when I came here, I came with my family, my mom, my aunt, and other relatives and so forth. So your help us share the show as I explain my story. Some of you that maybe that you don't know about. Yeah. So 2005, now after the war, down 2004, the disarmament time started and so on and blah blah blah, all the kind of things. So 2005, some of us now we started school. So my first school was Richard M. Nason, right on Capitol Hill. That those of you that know Richard M. Nason, even though now they changed to John Wulu, but even though their name is still Richard M. Nason / John Wulu, all these kind of names. So there where I used to go. So I used to go to the afternoon session. Bush ball now just come in and start studying school. So when I went, the people say, "Oh man, the time passed, and there no morning session." So in the afternoon, I say, okay. So I started to go to the afternoon. And then I also got a scholarship. The UN scholarship at them. Just to fight life. I'm just giving you pieces of stories about how terrible our society is, that they can easily give opportunity to people just to fight life. Some of us will pass through a lot, but God there. So yeah, you help us share the show now. I'm telling you about my own experience with the AFF thing that some of you today jumping here and there. So I started to go to the school there. I was in 7th grade by then, So I started to go afternoon. One of my teachers right now, I think he's the head for one of the banks. They call him Mr. Jackson. Yeah, so I started to go to the afternoon school. So even all these things I'm about to even explain to all of you. I don't even know about student giving teacher money, all these things. Some of us would not even know these things. So when I went, started to school 1998. You imagine? Oh, but yeah, man. So I decided to school. In fact, every time when I go, because I was in the server and blah, 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 blah. So when I go, I study my notes and so forth. So then I go down the other side to go and sell. After that, I go, I study. I don't even know nothing about what they call funny thing here and then. Yeah, the team here already, I know they will enjoy this story quickly. Mr. Dishu, good evening. I've just explained it. So kind of short story quickly before I bring you people on quickly, please. I know you people will enjoy. And that's what we'll be talking about today. So, I went. So Mr. Jackson, because first period, my entire average was around 90, I think 96 or 98. So Mr. Jackson said, no, I think some will not good for you, so that put you in. I said, no, Mr. Jackson, I won't do a bit by bit. So started go. The following year I passed. So they put me in the morning and said, no, don't go afternoon anymore. So go in the morning. So in the eighth grade again, the scholarship still continue. Passed the same average 1995 until I got to 9. In fact, I was my class president, throughout my junior all the way to my 10th grade. Those of you, some of my classmates who are also listening to me this afternoon, they know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't understand what I mean by 1998. No, I don't think so. I think it's 2000. I'm talking about 2000. I think that was 2000. 2002, 2000. But quickly, let me just make entire story. But you have to help us show people. So when I got promoted to the 9th grade, the scholarship canceled. Damn it. Yeah, but I mean, I'm coming struggle now. The whole struggle there, like, but I gotta go down one side to go and sell. After selling a car, I gotta go to school. Scholarship finish. No scholarship. What after that scholarship? No way. I went to Mr. Jackson. Time for money matter. The school will put me out. I mean, used to cry. The time. Yeah, man, it's very, very bad, man. Young guy, you pretty guy, you no way. People all be putting me out from school. So I look at it for long. I said no. Send that is a case and a year back. Then But I said for it though. So I decided then to join the army. Let me tell some of you today. I decided to join the army 2009. Yeah, 2009. 2008 or 2009 between. Yeah. So I decided to join the army. So when Mark, very, very sweet short story. So I went the SSR by them. So I started to train. Even all these things I explained before even joining, I was physically fit. Now I used to do the exercise. I used to jog from bypass all the way to ELWA. So I was fit. So the people say they want 9th grade, they want 12th grade, they want this and that, but then I can go. So I went. I went through the system every month. I went through the system, and the people have the Americans. So the first test was to jog, in fact, to run around. They have some kind of feed there, right in the barrier. Those of you who are listening, though, maybe my class, some of my class, but then maybe some of my people. So the first thing is to run around that end, that cycle. They got some kind of cycle, right the BTC there to run around 5 times in 5 minutes time. So I did that mock. Now, the first test, the second test, I got the eye test where they will be asking you whether you can see something, some kind of object, how far you can see. So all you want pass. I went for medical test with everything. So the people, all that one people were just dropping, all that process. You imagine people were dropping. Every stage we reach, people will drop because of medical conditions. Other people, they can't see clear, all these things. People will drop. So some of us now who qualify, in fact, who were able to go through, went through, they take our names, they take our photos, everything, they place it on the wall. All that thing I do to my woman and nothing for you. So finally, I decided now to tell my woman that, oh man, I want to join the I will be joining the army anytime soon. The woman said, no, my son, that can't happen. But before that, the SSR people, they went to my community to find out about me, whether I have good character and so forth. And they went there. They did everything. My people call me from the community. Oh, so white people came here. Oh, they say, hey, they're just thinking that maybe that I'll go to travel. So long matter short, that what happened, that was my own experience. Actually, the process was, in fact, fair enough that today. So in short, what happened today, there are a series of tests like that. Also, our other test was to write not less than 250 words. Why you want to join the army? Why you want to join the army? Not let if I have so many tests that we throw. By the way, Mark, let me welcome you people first, at least as we go along. But Ali, Mark, and Mr. Dishu, good evening.
What's up, Melbourne? What's going on?
Well, I'm doing okay, my dear brother. I was just passing through with some of my own experience with the army stuff and so forth. But Mr. Dishu, good evening.
Hello. Yeah, you hear me?
Yes, we're getting you loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I heard your experience, Melbourne, in getting it to the army. But it was something that a part that is missing from the Liberian thing is that during our parents' time, when they had the war in Congo and stuff like that, Liberia had what we call the reserve. The reserve was anybody after 18 years old, you go for at least 2 or 3 months training to shuffling. And that was a system that was built to create a reserve and educate the Liberian people about war and the tension and how they will be able to help the country when war comes. They went and scrapped that particular program. Now they're trying to introduce building up the army again. I watched the tips and all of that. But one mistake I believe the government is making is that the government should absorb every one of those people, educated or not educated, and declassify them into different groups. They want to know book. You create an avenue to start teaching the people and have a military school and teach the people, let the people graduate and come into the system. I believe that the more we open it up to them, they will have more interest. They will have more interest until we can go further. I will be able to expand on it more. But I think Mark can pick up from there.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Dishu. That will be our discussion today about our system, how weak, how terrible our system is. I think from my own little experience in life, as we go along, like you said, these are topics, or in fact, these are discussions I will be doing today. But Ali, what's up? Everything, my dear brother. Good evening.
Good afternoon, Melbourne. Good afternoon, Mr. Dishu. Good afternoon, Mon. Good afternoon to our listening audience and followers. It's okay. But thank God your mom made a good decision by you not joining the army. Yes, she made a good decision for you. Thank you.
That's great. Tell you them, as long as I capture you, you're just going to do that kind of thing to me. Yeah, look, the guy called me. Yeah, the American guy. Hey, Johnson, why? Why you don't? I said, no, man, it's personal. By the way, Mark, what say you, my dear brother, Mr. Dijoy, when they start, or in fact, the ball rolling? Indeed, we've been talking about our system, how damaged our society is, how damaged our system is. When we talk, sometimes people think that we don't hit government, we not let the other politician, we not let CDC, we not let Unity Party, or we not let any of their political, I don't know what you may call, but my brother, I think it's glaring today from all indication that indeed we have a very, very serious problem, because even if you have a 12th grader, for example, or a high school graduate who want to join or who thinking about joining army, can I easily pronounce or read a simple sentence, then it's pretty vulnerable.
Well, I think people are missing the bigger picture in why it's happening. I mean, this is just a confirmation of some of the things we discussed on the show. It carries almost like 3 different narratives. If you look at it from a bigger angle, from a larger perspective, it talks something about desperation for employment. It tells you something about how broken the educational system is. And it tells you something about the future of Liberia. Because I tell people, there's nothing they call future without the present. You got to do something now to be able to shift the future. You cannot guarantee the future. You cannot live in the past, but the present is everything. And if you're not making the investment now, there are people who believe that Liberia will be better. I keep saying it. I don't know which planet they live on, or maybe their brain is not working right. Because you are seeing all the indicators, you are seeing all the flashing light. You might laugh at this kid, but these are the people that will be running your country 15, 20 years from now. So it means this country will be worse off 20 years from now than what you're seeing right now. Let me tell you a story. I don't like to do too much personal thing here. My pops always come on here. I always share the link with him. Colonel Dixon, he once served as chief of personnel for the Immigration Naturalization Service. He on the show all the time. He listening. When I was in 11th grade, going to 12th grade, like late 90s, now between 97 and 98, like that. They used to recruit for the Bureau of Immigration. And when he correcting their papers and going through their papers, I used to have access to them. I would be reading them. I was just in 11th grade, but then going to the 12th grade. Those guys, I'm not saying that they were the brightest or the smartest, even though some of the technical questions they will ask them, they won't get it, but at least their sentences, their understanding, it was better off. I'm talking about people that cannot read basic sentences. So you are telling me, in another sense, from 1998 to 2026, I would say almost how many years? Almost like close to 30 years, right? Almost 30 years. You are telling me now, 30 years ago, we were better off than present day. So it tells you that 20 years from now, you will be far worse off today as a country than where we were 20 years ago or 30 years ago. And that's the problem that should keep every Liberian up at night. That country will get worse off. You won't be able to stay in there. Because, remember, the military is now never shooting gun. Matter of fact, they got other country that got or selected services where you can go and be a teacher. They got a corps of engineers. It's not only about going to shoot gun. That's the future of a country. And the third thing is about compensation. What is the essence of expanding the military when you cannot pay people decent wages that already work with the military now? How many people asking that question? Looking at what we see happening, I saw people sleeping in the street for almost 72 hours just to get a job. And let me tell you one thing. Why is the Liberia no boss and the Liberia is in the worst shift ever? People don't join the military during crisis. You got a border tension. People think that, oh, they are patriotic. No, it's desperation. It's economic desperation because people voluntarily join the military. But during crisis, people shy away from the military. That's why they got something they call the draft. The draft is technically forcing certain group of young people or generation into the military because of an emergency situation. So usually, when you have crisis, people shy away from the military. But why you think you're hearing about a border incursion and Guinean occupying Liberian territory and people still rushing to go to the military? It has nothing to do with law for country. It got everything to do with employment and just finding a way to survive. Because the total opposite of a global phenomenon happening all over the world. People don't go to military during war. That's why the government can institute policy to force people to join the military during crisis. So like I said, I will stop there for now, but it tells you a lot. And there's some of the reason we choose to discuss the most important critical issue affecting the country because it's bigger than what you're seeing. They're just the tip of the iceberg. I'm not even putting on the drug factor. I'm not putting in the health factor, the education factor. And you know, when you go to school, maybe when they teach you something they call interest payment when we're in junior high school, they got two kinds of interest. They got simple interest and they got something called compound interest. One is linear. It can improve gradually over time. Like when I get simple interest, oh, I give you $500 for 3 months, just calculate 2%, you just do the basic mathematics. But compound interest means interest on interest. It grows exponentially, not linearly. It can balloon over a short period of time because you're not only calculating your interest payment on the principal, you are calculating it on previous interest multiplied over a time frame by another interest. And when you look at Liberia, my brother, we will pay compound interest. We will bear the pain with some penalties and some and like I said, we will pay compound interest in the long run. Apparently, people don't get what we'll be saying. Maybe they think that we want to be negative, but we're just saying it for the reality. You are seeing it happening in the country every single day of the week. Every institution is fundamentally broken, and yet you choose to be optimistic. No, that's blind optimism. You are not going to be better. You are seeing it with the people that will take over from us or my generation or the generation after, and you still hoping. No, hope is not a strategy. And like I say again, apart from the national security, what is the essence of bringing more people into the military when you cannot even pay existing personnel decent wages? Maybe somebody can call and answer that question. Then
Aliu, what say you? Sometimes we if I joking, sometimes we say, oh yeah, the Guinean army. If I this about more was saying something about 1980, 19 that end. some of us are even passed through at least our little foundation a little bit, because you imagine that some of us we struggle when we don't even have BSc, we stay at the level where a little training and other things that we learn. But at least we can even challenge, in fact, we can even make little impact into the society. Quickly, Brother Ali, most of the recruits or quote unquote recruit that we saw this morning, they all have their wire certificate. How come somebody get wire certificate but they can't read? So are we only passing the children or maybe our future leaders? All we care about is how to just get them grades for them to just pass, or maybe to be making passing mark, or something should be in them. Because for example, we say you're Guinean army, but I think a 6th grader from Guinea, let me just say that on record, maybe a 6th grader from Guinea, maybe even 10 times better than we're saying. Maybe over our 12th grader, yeah, we don't know. But always say, oh yeah, the Guinean army, they can go to school. No, somebody can stop in 6th grade, but it can be far better than someone who even have degree. So, but Ali, what say you?
Thank you, babe. Thank you, there, Monk. The problem here is Monk says something, and I justify it. If doing our mother than day, our fathers than day, or the way the education system were, and today we expect it to be better off than our parent days, and it's showing that the normal era, the modern world we are in, the education system is, if you said, is poorer, is worse. So our normal day education is better off than what we are getting now. That shows that's alarming. Like you just said, or Mayborn, people go to school this time. Like I remember during our school days, or when we studying how we're going to school from Monday to Friday, people look at us and say, you'll be there. Or we know all of us will graduate at the end of the year. And that is it. Because they're too much of paying money, paying for grades. This is why you can let people today, your parents then looking at you. You cannot even say read a sentence. After all this year, they spend money, they have party, you graduated from high school, they hire another party, you graduated from college. You cannot even say read a one-line sentence. That's a disgrace and serious embarrassment to our country. Lemon said, those people are not going to join the military for passion, to say they want to serve the country. It's all about why the economic system in the country. Things are hard. As a young man, as a young boy, you can barely get $5 to feed yourself. So what will I do? Let me try to join the military. Maybe when I'm there, I will be getting my late 200, 175, or 150 at the end of the month. That's all. Because you looking at the military right now, every day we're beating on the government to increase their salary. Even their expenditure is more than their income. The money they're making, you can't even sustain them. There is no benefit in the military. Nothing they are getting there. But some of them, they are already there and I say, let me just be here. The 150 I getting when I leave from here now, where am I going to get 150 job? And to see the younger generation, people who are supposed to get a brighter future, to get a well-paid job or something good, there is nothing they can do but to go and join. Because when I saw that thing this morning, I'm like, really? People's been sleeping here 2-3 days just because they want to join the military. The military that we stay advocating, we stay talking that they go on. Senator Kane were talking for them to increase their budget. The people, they are not even, these are some of the things, our country. Look, see what happened to the White House. You see the way those guys, they were on time. See how they saved our president, our vice president, his entire family. Because why they are being paid on time, they get their logistics and everything to their need, they get it. So they have to do their work. They work with passion. Because what they are getting everything they need. And this is why we say some of these things. It's not just Joseph Boakai government. The LEO, the Joshua, the Joseph Boakai, they see nonsense continue over and over. A police officer are there to protect lives and property. How much are they making? Look at immigration officers. Look at the army. But we get irresponsible people that when they sit to discuss how to steal the country money to get us in poverty, at the end of the month, you pay them thousands of dollars buying big cars. The military are there to defend our land, our border, everything to protect the country. You pay them $200, $250, and you see young people going to say. So when I saw it this morning, just while I'm talking, I say those guys only doing anything because there is no source of income, nothing they get to do. So that they find themselves doing something. And the disgraceful part is you graduated from high school, college, or whatsoever. You cannot even read a single sentence. You see? And this is why I say your mother made a good decision for you. But now you in the Mediterranean, you're grieving. And she's there, she's grieving because what, there is nothing you get that she can say, oh yeah, my son. You see, so everything she worked for is going vain. You see, so it is so sad for our country. That the government really try to pay attention to our security.
Before Mr. Did come up, Mr. Did let me play the video quickly so that some of our viewers, maybe those of you who don't really maybe know what we're talking about. This is some of the happening today from the barrack or from the BTC there. That is the Barclay Training Center.
West Point. Please.
Stand right on this line. Look at the flashcard. Read exactly what you see. Loud.
I ran with the pencil flash, then trace for it with the pen.
Stand right on this line. Look at the flashcard. Read exactly what you see. Loud.
The vigilant soldier stands guard at the gate through the night. The vigilant soldier stands guard at the gate through the night.
Stand on this line. Look at the flashcard. Read exactly what you see. Loud. Be audible. Open your mouth and speak out.
Keep our soldiers to keep our start from the beginning. Of the law in the family that keep our social peace.
Come back another time. Come so.
You think I play where you can get money? You can get
money. Look at the flashcard. Read exactly. Come on the line, man. You can see from that distance. Read exactly what you see. Loud.
I will serve like God with honor, courage, humility, everything.
You see? Someone will come here and read. Stop talking.
What did that guy say?
Turn right on this line. Someone will read up to a little different thing. On this line. Turn it around. Look at the line. Step back. So look at the flashcard. Read exactly what you see.
The soldier protects people and helps during times. Hey, the sun coming up there. Yeah.
Well, so Mr. Dishu, there you have it. The other guy said, in fact, you will manage. I don't know whether the managing error there or what. And just imagine your own Liberians. For some of us back then, it was the American, you see the huge American guys when they talk one time. Well, I went Mr. Dishu come over and enjoy the present too bad.
No, maybe I listen and I laugh, but it's very, very much pitiful. It is pitiful to the fact that these people hoping for a future, and this future that they have seen come vividly in front of them is to have a chance to join the army, to have a job. Like what Monk said, is not from the strength of strengthening our military, but from the poverty level that they're trying to get out of that hole and try to seek some hope. And in doing that, they will try anything. The man knows he cannot read, but he got his backpack, he got everything prepared to go and join the army when he knows a requirement that you have to know something, you have to at least be able to read. And he was not able to. Now, what would be the fate of this man when he go home? What we should be thinking about? What psychological effect have it done to him? Has he lost all hope now? Because there was his chance, and he had presented himself, hoping to have a chance in life, and he had lost out on it. What do you think would be that man next move? These are the deep things that I'm thinking about right now, in them coming out from that horrifying experience, knowing that you have hope and your hope have been dashed right in front of you. It's something that is, regrettable, but this is the society that we have built, a society that have failed its people. That's why I agree that every time we talk, we should talk that Liberia is a failed state. Then, from that context, we can talk about Liberia for the people to understand better. A failed state, the system, everything is broken. Everything is broken down in Liberia. So there is a need right now for us to have some kind of call of action, negotiating for the future of Liberia. And that cannot be done only by us coming on the different podcasts to express ourselves, but also the people should take the lead. They are the ones. So the bridge in between us and the people is that we're talking for them, but they are not realizing the fact that we're trying to put a point for them to see whether they can go into a call of action. But nothing has been done. So until the show continues, I will be able to contribute more.
Yeah. Before you go quickly, Mr. Dishu, before more come on, more please, I beg you tell you something. Mr. Dishu, you've been around for a little time. Who should we blame? Should we, because I heard you in your statement that I think the people. So if these people who are being abused, if maybe they are abuser, feel that it's normal, let them just live that life, because all of the maybe all of our leaders are still saying to be corrected. I haven't seen any of their children down there. And even if you bring any of their children or their little one, the K2 one, and you bring them down there, they'll do far better than some of the fathers and mothers down there who are struggling to even read. So are they abusing the system only for they and their family? To teach you that the question I want to ask you before more come on.
Maybe the system is broken. So the system cannot be abused. The system is broken. Every new system that is put out, you'll find some leakage within it that the system will not survive. So with that, I believe that it should be a reform, because everything we try to work on in recent time, from the judiciary, the police, the different areas, the private entities that are around, all of them have their own, and is not coordinating with the government structure to bring some needed revenue to the country. Everybody has their own style. LPRC don't pay tax, the MPA has their own thing. These other people have their own thing. The structural system of the country is broken. So I don't know how we're going to fix it. This is a problem we have to be talking about. Mom, you can go on.
Well, I don't have the much to say. Like I said, people. I pity folks who keep laughing at most of those kids. It just tells you a lot about your country and the future of your country. So you are laughing at your own risks, because it will come back to impact you directly or indirectly. It just tells you that where we are as a nation after 178 years, and it will even get worse than what you see happening. Like I said, it's three things that you're looking at. You're looking at economic anxiety, which is desperation for employment. It's not because they want to join the military. The second thing is, like I said, why will you want to recruit more personnel when you cannot even pay the existing personnel decent wages? It makes no sense. Matter of fact, the people that keep holding those flashcards, they should be protesting. Because I will not work for an organization where I'm getting honor pay, and then I hear that they're going to recruit more employees. It makes no sense. It sounds silly. It's stupid to me. It makes no goddamn sense. Because, like I said, economic anxiety, the one thing is that's typical economic principle. They say people respond to incentive. When you pay people decent wages, they encourage people to work overtime, they commit to that job, and they want to do more. They will go beyond the call of duty because they know they are being incentivized. Why would you want to bring in more people into the military when you cannot even pay? And the thing is, it's not about budgeting or how much they allocate. We have seen how much they put in the national budget for national security, but people still cannot get paid. Even though the NSA and other national security are part of, you can't even believe their budget, line by line, enter in the national budget. But when you look at the compensation, sometimes they don't even get paid on time. So the question is, what will be the motivating factor for a young man to stay and want to work in the military, knowing fully well the people that are working there now, they're not getting paid on time, they're not getting decent wages. So like I said, it's all about desperation. And he talks about the economic. And one time I can remember, I told you maybe we did a whole week here on the education, right? Where we were talking about, that's why I believe the whole stupid wire thing, it does not make any sense.
Yes, good. We even talk about that more, you're right.
We talk about this, we did almost a
what
whole
is significant of people taking public tests and shameful embarrassment.
Because I told you, a public test is not the measure of intelligence. Yes. It just means you are going taking test. That's just one aspect of education. Let me tell you something. Even though I believe in having standard or a bare minimum for anything, you got to be having a bare minimum standard to be able to participate. But some other kids that have been turned away, they could become some of the best soldiers we could have in that country, but they can't read a sentence. And some of the ones that are reading fluently, they will end up leaving that military. They will end up dropping from that military.
Oh, yes.
But at the end of the day, like I said, you still need your standard. You still need your bare minimum. You got to follow basic instruction to become a military personnel. So the military is not only about shooting gun. Matter of fact, most countries around the world use the military to take on kind of an infrastructure project and a whole lot of things. They can even go out in the community and help. Some of them could become like almost like a public service where you go into villages and towns, you play that role. They call it the youth service in Nigeria. It's almost like a military thing, but they are getting compensated. My thing here is, like I said, that three things the whole recruitment exercise exposes about Liberia, that the future is bad for Liberia. It shows light on the education system, the economics, and job. So I'm not only looking at people reading flashcards, I'm talking about the implication of what you are witnessing on live camera. It tells you that the country is in some deep mess that is far worse than 25 or 30 years ago. That's just what it tells you. So I'm not looking at recruitment process. I'm looking at the future of Liberia right on camera, and you can look at
and it. That's the fact. That's the fact, Mark. Like you just said, my dear brother. I will play the other video. But those of you who just joined it, that's the kind of society. You know, most of the things that you see today that the people were reading here and there. If you go to so many daycare school, Monk, like my daughter's school, maybe in the school we go there, you always see this thing there. Sometimes, in fact, Monk, look, this is serious. When people go to places more, like even some kind of maybe some of the entertainment places, or maybe some kind of place, you know, people don't even know the difference between pooch and pool. Monk, we're in a very, very serious, I don't know how to even describe it, but this is interesting that even to feel informed, there are a lot of us today who don't even know and who don't even able to even feel informed. People don't even know where to start. They don't even know how to go about with feeling informed. At the end of the day, we have everything headed. But here's the point, Mark. Where are we heading to as a society? Because now you're talking about 25 years, and you're right. Say 1998, 1990, you know, sometimes when we forget that I didn't write, oh, that was a grade dropout, or third grade student. See, that was they don't, or if I never, or what you may call him. But see, that was they don't. All the people that passed through the rank and file of school by then, from the 1970 up to 1990, they're all well off. They're all well to do.
The vast majority are well off.
That thing today should have been done with a sixth grader. If a sixth grader or maybe sixth grade person going to be going through that kind of thing, maybe I would say yes, a little bit. So, Mark, I was thinking, okay, maybe something happening now. One of our revamping stream would be, or maybe our study here now would be there. Before you graduate from elementary, Monk, I think that make elementary not to be there. In fact, like even 12th grade, I think that would be good because we can continue to build our system in this form and manner that every time when the other students fail, they go to the other school, or the school one because they're doing business. School is business.
Yeah,
and you don't care.
You said something that's why I'm saying it's all about the standard and the time. The people who were back then, whether they were elementary or junior high school students, they are well off than people who claim to be high school students, maybe up to AA degree, because at the time they have basic standard. And maybe if you do your research and you look at all the countries in the world with some of the best outcome in terms of education, whether it's Finland, it's Singapore, the South Korea, the one thing that they invested heavily in was primary education, because that's the foundation. If you get a better foundation, you're able to navigate up to high school or college because that foundation is there. And one thing I can appreciate the Cali people for in Liberia when it comes to the education system, they had a rigorous foundation. When you come from Cali school, I'm talking about people who spend a lot of time in Cali school, you can tell the difference. When you grow up, when you go to that high school and college, even in the Western world, you can tell that the people that had that solid foundation, they were able to come here and adjust easily. And it's one of many reasons why some people come to the Western world, they don't bother with education because they know that foundation is not there. They don't want to go and bury themselves in college knowing fully well that they can do a basic arithmetic or basic reading. So they would just say, you know what, school is not my thing. No, they got potential, but they are afraid because the foundation is not there and they can assess their own skill at that stage. So, like I said, it's about the future, it's about employment, it's about the incentive. It's all about this desperation, this economic anxiety that people will do anything.
Addition to that, Mom,
yes,
during our time, we had the best kind of teachers. We had people from Sierra Leone, people from Nigeria, people from Ghana. You know, the mathematicians, those guys who were good in science, coming and were seeking job in Liberia, and they were employed because in my school, I think we had about 6 or 7 Nigerian and Ghanaian mix. And I tell you, the quality of education that we acquire from them, you know, it has been instilled into us today. So it's a serious problem. The preparation, the quality of the teachers. What we should do now is what Mr. Cummings brought up one time, is that we should go back to the Liberia training association, teacher association or something like that. They had a school that they would train the teachers, and when you leave from there, before you will be able to enter a class. Now we got 6th grader teaching 12th grader. You have shown different part of Liberia where you see that the people in mud houses. Now, what kind of quality education you going to get from these people when they are preparing for the future? A man comes from that particular system. He comes to Monrovia, he's looking for a job. He goes to the military. They ask him to read something. Would that man be able to stay on what he see? He had learned nothing. He had learned nothing. So the system is broken. I go back that the system is broken until we can get these things back together. I think we'll still be in a lost path.
And to even add up to you, Mr. Dishu, in this age and time, we will waste all of our time, waste the children time sending to school after high school, before sending them to computer school. I don't even know how come we just turning everything upside down. That someone will finish with high school, grown men or women. Then the person go learn computer.
You're talking about high school. We have people in college in Liberia. They don't even say no how to boost a computer. You talking about high school? This thing we're talking. When I was working with the Norwegian Refugee Council, when I started working with Sierra Leone, those guys, when I saw some of them, I was like, where did you graduate from college? Not those guys, they were just like high school graduates. But when you see that performance, as if to say they are college graduates, because your education, the grassroots, in the beginning part of your education, like Mon said, is very important. Like some of us here, we went to Cali school. Like here, when I was trying to join the state trooper, when I went for my physical and my English and writing test, but man, like what I saw over there today, it is so embarrassing for our country. You see, because you can't join without taking some of those tests and things. So the people had to know who they are bringing. Even though there were some people who didn't perform when we went for that test, but there's a system they set up. There's an area they send them. You have to go online. You do this, and in 3 months' time, you come back again for your test. But just to send those people home like that today, like Mr. Dishu said, no, you need to create some kind of avenue to see how the people can go. These are some of the things. We don't have no system in the country like that. There should be a website that you will send those guys to go and study this, you study this, and then you come back again. You see? Well, that's the period for us. I can remember when I was in school, just imagine I was in 10th grade. My mother that dropped off from school, 8th grade student, she still used to help me do my assignment. So the education that people got doing those days, and we're supposed to be more advanced than them, we just proving that they have to stay advanced, and all the monks said, in the long future, we are not going nowhere. Because instead of all making progress, we are deteriorating on a daily basis. This is so sad.
Especially at this age and time where technology is the order of the day. Doing our part of time, I think when you don't go look for Facebook, go look for the other kind of book. We just looking for books here until some of us we pack the books. Some of you don't even know this thing. Why we better every good evening, but everything.
Hey, Mabel. Good evening. Good afternoon to Mong, and then my dear brother Dishi, and I don't know what's Dishi's time over there, but I know it's afternoon for now. And Aliyu, how you doing? It's great. It's great to be here, man. Listening to you guys with the decadence of our education system is a problem. But you got to touch on a lot of meaningful things. You know, back then when we were in school, that's the reason why they introduced those. If you remember, they had something in Kakata they call KRTTI. That was the teacher training institutions. You had the ZRTTI, so was the case with the Zozo training, and then of course you had, I think they had one in the southeastern region there too. Those were places that people that did not have, they used to call that, I think, a C certificate or something like that. But those guys used to come from that training, and they really, really used to help significantly. Because when I was back in the 70s, when I was in junior high school, some of those guys before they graduated, they put them in the placement in those various schools, and they could really impact. They could positively impact. And I think based on that, it helped a lot of people today that at least they can stand among their peers and say something constructively. And, you know, when it comes to education. By the way, Tubman was not a 12th grader. Tubman graduated, from my understanding, Tubman graduated 8th grade in Liberia. William V.S. Tubman was an 8th grader. And you had a lot of those lawyers, reputable lawyers in Liberia were the apprenticeship lawyers. But they had the fundamentals on issues where ordinary high school graduates, even up to the contemporary time. Somebody like Francis Galawolo never went to law school in Liberia. But he became a reputable counselor in Liberia because of the foundations they had. And when it comes to the recruitment thing, it's unfortunate. And these are some of the things that when people say, then they try to excoriate them, they try to malign them, and so on and so forth. When they tell you that your military is not up to standard to any place, oh, it's classified. What is classified? You have your foreign country that got military institution, Mayborn. These guys, their recruitment goes to those institutions even before they can, by the time they graduate from something you call it first lieutenant, and, you know, sergeant, so and so forth, they get all kinds of titles. When they come up, so is the case with this guy in Mali today. Ibrahim Traore, he went to a military school. He went to a military school and graduated. Mali got it. Liberia, you don't have it. Even the ordinary high school for the soldiers' family in the barrack. Today, you don't have those things supported. Okay? So I find it difficult. It's not only narrow to all of those that queuing up today. It made it easy at the time. By the way, there was training institution even in the very military. That's the reason why a lot of those, they had the engineering battalion that were very, very strong in the military at the time. I don't know how effective they are today.
That's a fact.
The engineering department were there. The guys could build their own things. They could build their, even the barracks. Today, I see them demolishing 72nd. What can you do in 72nd when you talk about an army? An army is supposed to be in the city somewhere. In Kakata, we had the army barrack. They built a new one for the Bombay Road. You want the Todi? They were there. Those guys were not just shooting guns around. They were impacting knowledge in so many different ways. But today, it's not the case. So the recruitment itself is going to be a difficult thing. Right now, people are going over the queuing up, not because they are passionate about the military, But they are going there because of desperations. And you don't have the structure in place. So like you're going to be sending them home and so on and so forth. Still, they're going to be a burden on society. But if you have a structure in place, even some of the kind of the foreshore or certain IQ tests, the next thing you could do, recruit them and train them to certain category that they will fit society and be beneficial to society. But that's not the case. They prioritize pocketing huge money at the legislative branch. Look, that legislative branch that Mabel is a problem for that country. It needs a revolution for that place. I don't know how people can call whether somebody advocating for to overthrow or whatever. That's not the case. That place it needs a revolution. They are bad for the society. Very much bad. But again, it's great to be here, guys.
Wonderful. Yes, I think we're about to go for the news break. I don't know whether you people want to hold on or you want to follow on the break.
No, I think we'll get. Maybe you think we should hold it down then.
Yeah.
But we can discuss it on the phone, yeah, and until the show.
The only thing I know, we're gonna be up the radio, so that's if anything, if there's a major thing that need to have the input of the people, then maybe we'll just talk on some other issues on the maybe we'll get back. I think that'll be great. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get hold of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should continue on setting up this. You guys hear me?
Yeah, but you got a feedback, Mr. Dishu. There's a feedback coming from you. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're talking about the education system in Liberia, but we have seen this. Aliyu Masale was graduating from St. Edward. Then the next school year, you see Aliyu Masale teaching. You see, we are going for no training. So how do you expect our education system to be a better one? People, you graduate from the school, and the next school year, they see you teaching in a same school.
Let's do this. We got Pastor Cummings here. He just want to chime in on the whole thing about the AFL stuff, maybe a couple of minutes, and then
okay.
We can continue. Hello,
Monk.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Aliyu. Oh, I don't
yeah,
know.
Monk. I'm hearing you. Yeah,
I said, yeah, Pastor Cummings, go ahead. You say you want to chime in on the whole AFL and the recruitment project for a couple of minutes, then we can take it from there. But go ahead, Menago. Go ahead.
Okay, then thank you, Aliyu, and thank you, Monk, and to Mr. Dishu and Melbourne. Quickly, Monk, this is what we talk about information dissemination, why it's so vital and very important, right? I want to take you guys back a little bit. Look at the CPA, the PISA call. After the 2023 election, the 2005 election, 2006, when they started to get rid of the AFL soldiers, we started suggesting to Madam Salim and Brownie Samuka at the time, all you need to do is the group that reach retirement ages, retire them honorably. Carry them to the Satana Pavilion, have a program for them, retire them honorably. But those who have not met retirement ages yet, maintain them, retrain them, and then recruit. No, they didn't do so. They got rid of everybody. So you have professional people, yes. The army was quote-unquote faction army, but you still have some trained people. Like when I worked for LCDN, 99% of the people that were in Shanghai never joined any warring faction. That's why Taylor couldn't get them to go and fight Lur or Model, because they maintained the ground. They said they would stay there. But when Madam Salif came, they got rid of everybody. So now you got rid of professional people who was going to stay, those who were going to stay around and then retrain, and then they also have to train
the young people.
People,
all right.
Bring in professional people like one of the panelists said, they had the engineering department. I grew up on Coast Guard base. When I grew up on Coast Guard base, there were schools on Coast Guard base. Some of us wanted to join the Coast Guard because professionalism there.
Yeah.
At that time, the Coast Guard had 5 boats. Today, They don't even have 2 or 1, to the best of my knowledge, before I left the country. They got the Zodiac. The Zodiac don't go anywhere far. So this whole thing about retraining and recruiting our army, no, Mom. But Salib had the opportunity to do this better. We won't be having this. By this time, we'll be talking about 5,000 trained men, 5,000 trained in all areas of the armed forces of Liberia. But now, look, see where they're starting from. When they try, some of the young people, like you said, Mom, they just want to go to the army now to get a job.
To get a job, that's
just
it.
For survival.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going there because they have passion
for
the
nope. Yeah.
But the people that grew up in the DTC, the people that grew up in Kamlamba, the people that grew up around the suffering barracks, these are young people who had a passion that they wanted to join the army. Even when I went to Monrovia demonstration, all the ROTC programs in the government school was something that was always encouraging us to join the armed forces of Liberia.
Wow.
But thank you, my brother.
Wow, that's some great insight from.
No, it's not only insightful. It was what was happening among we had ROTC in every school, every high school in Liberia had an ROTC instructor. Now, they were giving the basic, like what I was saying about during our parents' time. Liberia had a reserve army. Our father, them, when you were 18 upward, you have to go for training at Camp Shuffling. You are not in the army, but it will be a certain time, Armed Forces Day, where all of them will be able to parade the streets. But they were not regular army people, they were reserve. But at least they had the basic of a military impact into whatever situation Liberia will find itself in. So we should bring back the ROTC, to start to educate the different level of people in our country, so they will be able to decide. Like I will go back again to what I said before. Those people that could not make it at the interview today, they should be given a chance. They should not keep those people in the desperate move for the future. They should be able to absorb them and have a school open and be able to teach your people in 6 or 7 months' time. We got a lot of instructors around, the college students that will be willing to go and teach, because they had a school there in the barracks. There was a school in the barracks, and the people used to go to night school there.
The school, my brother, the school name was Grady Allison. Before that, it was Charlotte Talbot.
Yes.
Grady Allison. I don't know whether that school is saying in effect.
But let me ask the question to ABM and Pastor Cummins, since you stay on the line. The thing I'm looking at is not only about the professionalism or the system that were in place before. The thing is, they like I said, it's all about employment desperation and the whole idea of incentivizing military personnel. I mean, why would you want to recruit now, like I said, if people are not being compensated adequately to get decent wages? Why would you want to increase or bring in the new recruit when the existing personnel are not even being paid on time and being paid decently? I don't know how you guys see it. Maybe I'm looking at it different.
But Monk, that's the problem. The people are not incentivized. And many a time before all of these noise in the country, those people, like I stated, area that I lived before, I saw the military over there. Places like Dodi. They had a family there. Somehow they had some kind of education system, even for the family's children and other people that even give them some motivation. Growing up, they say, I saw my dad, I saw my uncle in the army, so I want to go to the army. Here are things that motivated me to go there. But you don't have that system. And in other countries, that's what motivating people more. And not so much of the fabulous salary that they're taking home, but what are the incentives that comes with your enrollment in the military? And those things are not there. So the children, even the children that are growing up, that seeing their parents in the army, they don't want to go there. Or maybe they want to find something else to do. Now you see the whole queue of people over there, Monk. It's all because, like you stated, of desperation, not motivation. It's desperation because they want a piece of job somewhere. They got nothing to do. Now, if you incentivize the place, you give them all of the amenities, education. A lot of the guys in the Ghana, Nigeria, there, they go to military school. By the time the people got somebody got master's degree, they got PhD, they got bachelor's, they got all kinds of qualifications. So by the time they leave the military, they can transition into society. They can go in the educational sector. They can go in the private sector. They can do so many other things. But that's not the case with Liberia.
Yeah.
And what is frustrating, post-war Liberia, the enormity of goodwill that came the country with. Look at the military you got today. The enormity of the money people are willing. Can you imagine you got a country that has 16,000 international peacekeepers that were willing to restructure your military and train the people and build the military? It was never the case. But giving people fabulous salaries up to today's day, you still maintain that kind of structure among, and you think the priority is straight? It's not straight. It's not straight. People are not motivated.
Pastor Comey, you can go ahead with that.
Yeah, Mr. Comey can come in.
Like I always said, Monk, many years ago, every time I appear here, I said, show me the player and I will tell you how the game will end. You show me the player. And most of the players we see today, Monk, are the same players, like Brother A.B. said. They had the opportunity to train more than 5,000 plus.
Yep.
They had the opportunity. Take for example.
You got a minuscule military and you're talking something to the minuscule, smaller things. But even the police, I think they're more than the military right now.
I think you guys talking. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, brother. Cummings. Hello?
They gave us textbooks, and we had
yeah.
with the international community. At the time, Madam Sali was classified as the darling of the West. So
I think he's breaking in.
Help me.
Yeah, I think Pastor Cummings. Hold on one second. You guys can hear him. Go ahead, Pastor Cummings.
You know, I was saying that
he's breaking in.
No, I hear him clear.
Madam Sali was considered as the darling of the West. And you have 15,000 plus peacekeepers, right, in the country. Then we had a cordial working relationship with the U.S. government. Mom, please tell me, man, that they couldn't use their influence to train the army and then make sure that we're up to 5,000 plus. We had that. Then you talk about incentive, like Brother Abraham said. The guys instead of them making sure that the people in the military, the salary could commensurate their work, they were paying themselves more money.
Yep.
In fact, they were convincing GMA officers, teaching them the tricks and how to be corrupt.
Yep.
The GMA officers who came from the European Union or the different institutions themselves were sitting back and watched our people steal and bring down their own country. So it's like he who pays the piper will play the tune.
Yep.
Blessed for us is the same UP now that had the opportunity to make things right. So most of the kids, they're just going there. Whether their salary will commensurate their work is a mystery that we all need to ask ourselves if this is possible. But one best way to do this, even if you recruit them, I don't want you to remember LOTC, they were building vocational schools all over the place. They had some in Grand Bassa, Kakata, and other places. I think we need to go back after we train these people, build institution on in the BTC or the Camp Shuffling or the Camp Tripoli or the second. Revive some of these programs and make our people train. Because I was privileged to work with the international community. 99% of the peacekeepers, they were trained people in different areas.
Of course.
Trained, competent people.
Yep.
But these kids now, some of them drop out of high school, like Mr. Dishi said, don't send them home. Mom, you and myself know in this country, there's something called train the trainer.
Yep.
If you didn't pass the test, somebody will train you. So bring them. There was a guy, I forgot his name, he became a big man in the armed forces of Liberia. He was not a trained military officer, but do making somebody be. He never went to military school. Where he Edward Slanga was not a military man. The man who they said killed.
You were involved with that 50 caliber thing there, or whatever it is. Flazameton, right.
Edward Slanga was not a trained military officer. No, not at all. But these guys got in the army because based on ethnicity, right? So even if you say the army was factionalized or ethnicity was taken over, but then you had an opportunity now to make the army better. So with a salary commensurate your work, no.
But what I'm saying to AB and maybe Mr. Dishi can chime in, including what you just said, Pastor Cummins, because the situation, the scenario you guys are stating right now, it means we have structure and the system in place to attract the best, and we pass on that. Now, if you are saying that the people who we are recruiting now out of desperation, out of this economic desperation, they will not be the best, or they could potentially not be the best. So what you guys are recommending is you got to go back and build that whole structure in place. And you cannot I know the government is not going to build those structures in place to get us up to full speed. That's why I'm keep saying the least thing you can do now is basic compensation, at least to attract people. But if the compensation is not even there, why make you think they will build a system? Whether it's the LOTC and all the training and giving the soldiers, children incentive, it's not going to happen. The least you can even do right now is just to pay people decent wages and create that opportunity, but it's not there. So why are you talking about going to the barracks and motivating young people to become Coast Guard, to become military or police officer? No, it's not going to work. And that's where the problem is. For me,
okay, Monk, I think the problem is right now from all of our discussion, I think it comes to priority. What is the government's priority? If the government is interested in us or revamping the army to make it look like an army like before, then I think we should go back to the structure setup that was there before. Because in late days, during our time, we have militias in Liberia. Do we have militias right now? That's a question. We don't have militias again. The great John Steele and all of the boys that were in the university were in the militia. We don't have militia anymore. So
and that was the reason I think the SSR came by them.
Yeah, but you see the breaking down of the system will come back to the system. The system that was set up were producing a lot of the best. And during the war, we had a collapse of the best being part of one of the factions, and all the people, most of them got killed, and most of them left the country. So to restructure this thing was not the individual. It was the structure that was there. So we should go back to it and see how we can redevelop it and come up with some result in the next 5 or 6 years, depending on how we're going to put the priority of setting up the army again. That's what I believe.
Well, that's good, Mark. Let me say thanks to you people for holding on. We're back after the news break. A wonderful conversation. Yes, quickly, let me just chip in on some of the things that you people were saying and been saying. And let me say thanks to the caller also from the US who called to give their point. Well, indeed. But again, all in all, I think it is indeed interesting. And Mr. Dishu also was stressing a very beautiful point that I don't know how we're going to revamp all this system, Mr. Dishu, because for me, I'm a bit confused because I thought sometimes people fought war for so many reasons. Well, after the war, then that's the time because during the crisis or maybe during wartime, sometimes the entire system, everything paused or better say broke down. And after when war ends, that's the right time to build this system or to put these things in place. How come we are still struggling with everything you think about here? The only thing we're not struggling with is corruption.
No, because we took corruption priority.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Mr. Dishu was saying something. I'm not getting
okay, yeah. Go ahead.
I said we took corruption over the priority of the army.
Okay, yes, that's good. Yeah, go ahead, but maybe quickly before.
Listen, Mabel. You have structural problem. Maybe. You know, one of these three, I visited Liberia not long ago, and I managed to visit the hospital, the military hospital. And I was impressed for all the medical practitioners I saw over there in military uniform. It was impressive. And the reason I'm bringing this point up is that Liberia came from war. Before the war, maybe you had a clinic, only a clinic for the military, Soko clinic. And then you have all the goodwill that came this country with, that you could not prioritize putting structure in place that will encourage people to go to the military. Until recently, had to build our military, how to call it, what it is? 14 military.
Yes,
and the people that are there, if you, unfortunately, you have visited Liberia Center. If you go over there, you see them, they look professional, because I had to take my little daughter over there for treatment. I was really impressed. And those are things that you put in place, it will encourage people to gravitate to certain profession. It will incentivize them in a way, not so much of the use pay structure. But what are the immunities that come with some of these things? But structurally, you have a problem.
Yes.
And, you know, and the people went over.
Do I imagine? In fact, to even add up to you, just you have, for example, AFL man, that for example, someone who's serving the country and thinking about how to pay his children or his child school fee or his child fees. He worried. I don't know what kind of people in front of we are. Sometimes I can be thinking. You have schools, you have government schools, you have schools around here, but you will see the people struggling. But to just add up to you, these are things that most of our brothers,
of course,
these are things that they go through. They have to be struggling, looking for money, crediting here and there to send their children to school. Look, this country.
But Monk, if you ask the question,
even if you go to that barrack by right, this will be a decent school in a barrack. They want to.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you guys this. When I was in school before the crisis or in high school, to the point that some colleagues of mine that were in high school, I went to private institute. I graduated at Catholic school, and people used to leave from those schools that they really wanted to go join the military. They wanted to join some kind of professional thing. They were encouraged to do those things somehow, because why they felt that they could climb the ladder professionally. But if you got the kind of structure, the likes of BJ Samuka then went over there in the military. By the way, that guy was, I think, if not the longest serving defense minister. The man spent 12 years as Minister of Defense.
He was the only one that survived and said 2 terms.
Yes, the longest serving defense minister in our country's history that I know of. I stand corrected.
Up to now. I said yes.
And that man.
Let me ask a man of God too, right? A pastor. Issue, man of God, because Mr. Dishu struck something important. He talked about priority, and we are 3 years into this administration. The question that people should be asking, like, are we just reacting because they border incursion situation, or what is grand plan? Because if it's just about reacting,
you've been reactionary.
Then you don't have a plan, which means again another failed exercise. Because
let me just say that before the pastor come, I think today the vice president, to your question today, I think the vice president just answered the entire question. It's just all about blame shifting. It's just all about reciting the same thing. In fact, the vice, maybe that one will be looking at tomorrow. The vice president will even brave today to talk about B-Mountain, how they doing this, how they doing that. Can you imagine? So everything is just about reciting the same, probably,
we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Those are reactionary forces. I mean,
go ahead, Mr. Cummings, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Cummings.
You know, like we are saying something very positive here. But Monk, if you get communication, look at the timing of the recruitment process and what is unfolding in Lofa County. That is a clear indication that, if this had not happened, would this recruitment process go?
No way. No way.
Somebody is setting up a program that will not survive in the next two future. I'll give you one typical example. Minister Amara Collin, then Ambassador Jeremiah Solonte, and Minister Gabriel Williams, and Ambassador Allen, Madam Salih gave huge sum of money. The guys came to America. They were on a mission to explain the poverty reduction strategy. When the poverty reduction strategy had 3 months to go, what sense does that
make? Yeah, at the end of the program.
Yes, when within the poverty reduction strategy, the security sector, if you read that document, the security sector covers some of the things that you and myself are talking, but they had 12 years. They never did anything. So that's why I was listening to the minister, now senator, when he started saying, you didn't get more army nation, you get more men. No, you are minister. And it was you who led a team to Minnesota to come and explain the poverty reduction strategy when you had 3 months. So, you know, our people are not innovative thinkers. They plan for now. They don't plan for the future. That's why you see people like Tuare at the age of 37, he's not planning for now, he's planning for the future. When he's not there, somebody will pick it up from there tomorrow. But Liberia thing is just reactionary. Sensational issues. With legal issues, we don't follow up. Like, you know, somebody was talking about technology, mailbox. Today, modern journalism has taken a different dimension. Whereas people are still thinking about now, modern journalism has gone way to 15 years ahead. It's moving beyond that. And our people, they're still sitting down and thinking that it's going to be better. No, Monk. If you look at the entire thing, that this recruitment process is based upon what is unfolding in Guinea.
But man of God, let me stop you right there. Because technically you, AB, and Mr. Dishu are saying exactly the same thing. So this thing is more of a charade because, like you said, if they are only doing it in reaction to what happened at the border, then it means there is no program and no plan. But at least it created impression because it's mostly political that, you know, the government is doing something to address what happened at the border, but there is no plan. Because like the same thing I said, if you can even incentivize, not even the extra immunity that comes along with being a military officer, whether it's free school, whether it's ROTC program, if you are telling me you cannot execute basic compensation strategy for existing personnel, what make you think I will believe that a recruitment program is going to yield any fruitful outcome in the future? Man, we are talking. I leave you already. You can go ahead.
You know, Lord Monk, those are logical questions, and it will keep piling up. But here's the thing: Monk, you in the United States, look at the military. Look at the incentive that the guys can get. Just by enrolling in the military, people go to college up to master level of free of charge. You got GI Bill. They interacted the GI Bill in this country for a reason. And those things motivate and make people to gravitate to the military one way or the other. So if a family, even though take their last kid and can't send in the military, it has to benefit from some of those things. They got medicals. They got to go, all the water region, all the places are medical hospitals. They go there. Even after they retire, they leave the army, they benefit from those things there. But you got those people who, again, I will keep driving this thing until people understand it. All the guys you see, they're fighting for all the political position and this and that. It's all about because they make it a money-making thing, Monk. Monk, let me tell you, when Charles Taylor became president of Liberia, not many people wanted to be representative. You know why? Because it was the pay was nothing. They get a guy in one car to ride over there, they wrote out blue card on the Taylor left for Liberia.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, Mom. I know maybe you don't remember that, Mom. Maybe you're younger. You understand? Look, Mom, I'm telling you because when after the 97 election, they had this. It was a proportional representation. You that won the most vote, you got all the representatives.
Yeah, I remember PR system.
Yeah, Taylor they had a bunch of those things there, and so to the point they were giving it out to people, and so people didn't want a position because they never had money there. Monk, there was a guy that a representative of Bombay County destroyed my car up to the point I came to the United States. I could not afford to pay for that car. I left it like that. I came to the States.
Even to that,
I'm just telling you, the structure the Ellen government, the United Party people put in structure is troubling our country. And there where you have all the knuckleheads, I'll call them knucklehead. I got no professional way to call the bunch of people that in our house there that creating problem for people. Every day don't want to be something right now because they come and incentive the goddamn. Let me stop there.
But maybe I want to know something now that those people now who were selected today, Now that they are coming to go now for training or whatsoever, how much are they giving them that they will live with their family before going for training? How much?
No, first of all,
because the reason why I asked that question, like here, when I was when I took my test, I passed my test, my physical, my rating test, everything to join the state trooper. Unfortunately, I sustained injury at my job, so I didn't make it to go. But you know how much they were going to give me just to go for training for 6 months? Because I had to pay rent, I had my family, I had other things. I would not just go for 6 months training. Who will take care of my bills and rent? So what the system put in place now for those people that are going?
Yeah, I think they have something, but I don't think the people that will start now
what they will have, they will create an avenue to steal. They will make allocation. Oh yeah, these people coming to go will get $150. Everybody will hear it on the air, $150.
Thank you. That one,
when the
I can
problem
tell you
come
that,
in,
yes.
you hear people say, "Oh, they only gave me 35." They say they will give me the other one. That is where the problem will come from again. So
that means all of you now, what we are all saying here today, that I will listen
that
to
legal robbery will be part of the system. They will have a legal way of stealing from the people. A legal way.
Yeah. But what I said, Mr. Tishu, I said that corruption is the only thing that making progress. Because I think by next year again they will be getting a 45,000 capital. Even mentioned about cars and so forth doing chartered days. And yes, I think that was Azuzu. Thank you, Azuzu pickups to all of the other lawmakers, government officials, and that was it. Nothing else. If you want to buy a car, you say you go and buy a car. But we continue to useless our monies. We give the money to politicians who don't care about the forward march of our country. They take their children, they take their family members, they take them from here and send them out of the country. Today, one of you were talking about, oh yeah, Manan Salif and other Amar Corner. Yes, myself, I commented, I think on his post, I said about Senator Corner, you were once upon a time, you were minister before. What was your role as minister by them? When you were minister by them, you were minister of finance. But today you're crying today that, oh yeah, the army is this. Look, some of them will not buy into all of these things. Why are you crying? When you're a minister.
Yeah, Miller, can wrap it up before we can go to the line?
I'll leave your line.
Mom, in order for us to give good incentive to the soldiers, the president needs to call the legislators, right? And saying, all of these people that we are recruiting, they are coming from your constituency. They are part of your constituency. They are your constituency. So, in order for us to attract more professional people and make this thing at an equilibrium, you people must be willing to cut down your salary. Let's reduce your salary and give our soldiers more money, more incentive. Because they get monk, they go to work on Tuesday and Thursday. Look at the kind of money they are getting.
And for nothing money.
2 days a week.
Yeah, brother Jerome, I thought about that same thing. The legislators should be able to cut that money. They shouldn't look for money elsewhere. Look, you cut the money right from the people in there. The 100 people. Cut from them.
That's just the way forward. We're giving them too much money. They're not doing anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
Brother Abe talk about Samuka. Do you know when Samuka was heading the group that Sawyer established? Look how equipped they were looking.
Yeah, the Black Bearer.
Yeah, early 91, 92.
Good money. Then he became defense minister. He went to school. He benefited from the government of Liberia. But when it was time to reciprocate the kind gesture to people in the armed forces of Liberia, he did nothing. Nothing.
You know how Samuka got into the army?
Also, not vote the two parties we have. We need innovative thinkers to win.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
We need innovative thinkers. Because if you bring the two, if you send you with the two parties, it will be a replica and a repeat process of the same old system. Look, don't even elect some of these guys to be representatives or senators or city mayors. They are not innovative at all. Monk, you and myself live in America. The lawmakers here, you think they are competing on political, they're competing on who to come represent who constituency. They're competing on ideas.
It was one thing I remember from the Toba government. I remember the few things. One, when our economy was down, and the Liberian would figure out that the people would not get salary and stuff like that. What Toba did was that he brought in top business people that never were part of the government. He brought in G.T. Phillips. G.T. Phillips, he made him minister for finance. He brought in Clarence Parker, the man who had the biggest paint factory that was sending paint all around the world. He brought in some smart people that were never part of the government. They were the middle class. At that time, we had a middle class. Those people were not depending on government money. We had shops and stores in Liberia that were even making more money than ministers at that time. Solo Pepe shop on Cairo Street there. Solo Pepe had money. We had John Palmer shop there on Rana Street. All those people were the middle class at that time. And those people had money enough to educate their children and have money enough to live a good life. So I want to know, what difference does it make now? Because this new generation that we see, they have no vision of a better life for themselves. They are all followers. This is a problem. When we were coming up, we're not followers, we're innovative in creating things for ourselves. But right now, everybody's a follower, so there's a dead society.
Wonderful. Let's go to the line. I need to be able to
all right.
I
think I will check base with you later. It was great having you on today, and you
would love to have you come to Germany. Okay.
All right, man.
Okay.
Wonderful. Let's go to the line to hear from our people. To this first caller, I'm hearing that Steve also want to be part. Yes, Steve, you can call in. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, let me say good evening, Brother Maybon. My name is Jeremiah Chiawe. I joined the platform from district number 6. For every time you fail to plan, you plan to fail. What I saw today when it comes to the recruitment process, it clearly shows that the government had no plan to do that. They just woke up because of the Guinea border issue, because you get Koluba said the land for Guinea and all those kind of things. So they just want to do it, because when you see the process, you get to understand that there was no proper planning, no mechanism put in place to do that thing. Where you recruiting and people talk about security information, classical information, then you recruiting people, get poking a hair camera on, then they go in live and all those kind of things. You bring disgrace to yourself, you bring disgrace to the country. Why can you call that person inside in your office, or they got to an office that somebody will be in? You give the person a book and you enter that office and read. Don't you know that they got people who can read? But when you just call somebody now, you put them in from 2 to 3 you give them something now, they will start trembling. Even the boy that doing so that they will make error. So they didn't do well. They had to go back. The main well to do this thing to recruit or men and women that will 50% of this country tomorrow. Let them go back on the drawing table and properly plan this thing better.
After that color.
All right, thank you. Yes, go ahead, Mark, and tell Steve.
Yes, Steve. All right, Steve, go ahead. You live.
Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen. I've been following the conversation, and it's very interesting, and it's hitting home now. Let me put it that way. So let me remind us of one or two things really quick, because I don't want to take up much of the time. The first thing I want to remind us of is this familiar song that we got in Liberia. You know book, you don't know book, I will vote for you. You remember that song? The reason I'm bringing that song back up is because we as a people, we have undermined ourselves. And the thing that we've been doing, by the result that we're showing in public there. But another thing again that's very interesting that I think we need to look at and consider is the fact that even when you want to recruit, yes, you can put an advertisement there, but there are certain things, there are certain tests. There is no way you can see in any serious minded army or security place where the people who are coming, they come in everything videotape, showing everything publicized or whatever it is. We are misusing social media and Facebook. We are, to be honest. The military shouldn't have done that today. It was not necessary. What they did today was embarrassing. It was shameful. It was disgraceful. And it exposed Liberia to the world. When we tell you that the country not moving anywhere, you're saying we hate the country. You're saying we hate the president, we hate the government. But here are some of the facts. The fact is, we have not invested in our educational system. And this is the bad product we're having today. You have able-bodied men who want to go job, whether they want job or money, or whatever it is. But here they are, they get job because they're not educated. But they're not decided not to be educated. Somebody not get food to eat, school fee high. They'll be able to take up, they'll be able to go to school. So at the end of the day, there should be a lesson learned for all of us. And let me say this. I'm not going to bring the Joseph Human Parker government on this. I'm going to bring for Ellen Johnson to today. I will bring all of them. So Joseph Parker is directly involved in today as well. In as much as I'm not blaming Joseph Parker government for the past 3 years, I want to be clear. These guys don't prioritize education in our country. When we tell y'all, don't invest money in the different systems, the different institutions. Y'all can't, y'all cost us, y'all fight us, y'all disrespect us. But y'all see the disgrace that y'all brought to Liberia today. Y'all see the embarrassment that y'all brought to our country. This is embarrassing. This is total embarrassment. It speaks volume of our educational system. So I will hope we learn from this. But I can bet anything. We are not going to learn from it. When the next budget comes up, it will be business as usual. So I'm not even going to waste my time. It is what it is. In fact, most of the voters will say they don't even care about educated or not educated people. So why are you making education today? Why are you making education a requirement? They say you don't care about educated people. They don't care about book people. They don't care about book. They don't vote for anybody. So why are you having educational requirement? You're not see right in our country. They ain't ready yet. Oh, even right here. They ain't ready yet.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Let's go back to the line to take more calls. Yeah, hello. Good evening.
Yeah, thank you. Winter community and a member of the Concerned Liberian for Justice. People, thank you very much. In my mind, let me sharply disagree with my brother that just dropped the line. Brother, Liberia was on the repo path under His Excellency Dr. George Manawia because you saw the policy being introduced in the education system in our country, first of the kind, to have free WASB, to have free university across the country. That was the beginning stone. And yet, most of the Nigerian people choose to go against it and they were talking that education will eat. So you don't have to bring the CDC government. In my mind, the two governments, the two parties in Nigeria, the one that set the posting for the kids in Nigeria was the CDC because they privatized education, or like the Unity Party that told the guys to go and do shoe shop boy and can't do no job. So in my mind, CDC was on the rebel booty, but yet some of us did not understand it. We advocated and change the minds of the people. That's why we got the result today. Just elementary things that our brothers and sisters will read, they will only want to read today. In my mind, the process today needs to be revisited, and the government needs to put more money into it and do it right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. But today's caller, good evening, please. I'm most 1 minute.
Good evening, how are you today?
I'm okay, man. But go ahead.
My name is Musa. I'm calling you from Brooklyn. You know, when I see, you know, this exercise is very awesome. We are going through the exercise. We later got recruited. We resigned.
Oh, okay.
You know, yeah. So this one that you saying so that is happening is no different. And you know, the first introduction is that after they show you that note, they don't want to just wasting time of you getting into the hall to go take exam. You go through this, you even read the exams first, the written test before you get what appointment. But you can even read what they show it to you. How will you go take the written test? You move from there. When you enter in there, you're going to take. They have some preliminary physical exercises that you go through, and if you can go through that one, you can go through the major exercise. So these are the two preliminary things they're going to give you first. And when you finish with that, then you go through the rating test, and then you go through the
medical, the everything.
Everything before you get what they call it. And that is just a precedent to just say, how can you be an army officer and you are there, you cannot be able to read common instruction or to write common instruction?
Two-letter words, you're not able to even call it.
But besides that, I can tell you really, what now is this recruitment is something that started even before the election was taking place. It was something that was put in place. I mean, when I say put in place, it was something that they talk about it, but there was no funding in the budget. It's not because of the reaction to the Guinea incident. They have been looking for funding in every period.
All right, no problem, no funding, but we still buying 45,000 cars. Hello to this caller, good evening. Yes, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna get you to go to your background. Very nice. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, go ahead, we'll see.
The former administration of the Colombia to that of two different things. The Unity Party of the it's not a Unity Party all of the administration of Greater Mombasa. That's two different leaders.
I mean, it's got to be formed.
So the Unity Party, the reason why maybe some of the panelists also mentioned, including me, is because after the war, the Unity Party that took over our country. So everybody will be looking up to Unity Party for forward march and backwardness. Let's go to the issue. Forget about Jota Baga Road. We're not talking about Jota Baga Road. Let's go to the issue.
Yeah, so I think we have a better government system now for less in the past. So if people want to be comparing, go.
All right, thank you. Today's caller, good evening. Our children saying different things. We hear we stay back in government. Hello?
Yeah, good evening,
yes, go ahead, my brother. How are you, Samuel?
Yeah, thank you very much. This is our Samuel. I get a discussion for income market and of the like therefore, you see, therefore, for me, I'm looking at it different way. Therefore, when people who are paid start to come to serve their country. Therefore, let the opportunity be explored.
In case they're not qualified, in case they can't read, because you have to read about the Samuel, because they are person you could have. Hold on now. Some of them they can't speak English. Myself, I work with some UN when they were here, my brother. Don't come say I don't think I even say they can't read and write. Just say maybe they can't speak English or maybe so on. I will agree. Okay. All right. So we'll put all of you. So that's quite a good evening.
Thank you. This is Edmond. I'm a member of the concern Librarian for Justice. For me, I will look at it this way. And we are concerned about the educational aspect.
Exactly.
And we saw school out of God, when I really listen to out of God, I don't really know what you wanted. You're playing for or yourself. But are we also looking at the way in which the recruitment processes are ongoing? This is not fair. AFL got so many centers around here. You're going to create at least 3 to 4 different centers in Mozzarella County to do the recruitment. But allow the people to gather to that place for 3 days. Look at the land from the barry all the way coming to.
My brother will pass through that to them before. Now, what they call marriage? I mean, you want to join the army, you be thinking about what I want.
Yeah, but we can't do it. We can't do it every day in the same way. Sometimes we try to do it the other way around. They don't look at the other aspect. Why did you do the texting process openly on camera? Why did they do that?
Because we don't want to be complaining. That oh yeah, maybe they cheat or they do they want to pick and choose. They do all kinds of things. For me, I support 100%.
So now, when institution or job that you go for, and you will not be able to go for tests. You have to go through testing process. So if you go through and you fail, the just tell us people apply and were able to access us. So people want to go and put people on camera showing the other brother from Europe was saying their psychology now is being seriously played on. When they go into the community, well, how would they handle this situation?
Let it go back to school, simple. All right, thank you, man. Let me say it. Hello, today's caller, good evening. Hello, my dear. Go ahead quickly. We take few more calls because over to our team. Okay. Yes, go ahead, brother. Okay.
The thing that been happening since today, what they on camera, what they watch, it has to be that way. Just listen, in Africa, how many people have ever been like, oh, people going to recruitment process is not put them on Facebook. And that's what they do. But everyone, you look at it, see what I just want.
So you want it to be in your secret? Sometimes you see this thing, sometimes you watch people. Hello. Yes. I will say not right. Why make it not right now to job to how? But not hard anything now, my brother. So what make it not right?
I will come in with that at the end of the show. That's a brilliant point he raised.
Okay. All right. Thank you, my dear brother. All right. Thank you. Thank you quickly to this. Maybe second to the last caller. Hello.
Hello, Nathan. How are you?
My brother, I'm okay. Thank God for life.
All right, thank you for the show. What I saw doing, Mara Eddie, fighting with the Bangladesh 2 years. You are that time, my brother was working with people. So I was in high school to go for somebody. There's a Bangladesh guy that was there in other things. He came to that town, and what I saw is town with fingerprint. The Bangladesh guy. So I said to myself, I tell you what, people distance. They come here, they're not educated. So what I'm trying to say is that education is important in every aspect of life. For people who are patriotic in the system, what God wants to do, you guys that want you to read the facts and get to what the strategy is system. Somebody they are get up in the train, somebody want to school, have parents up in already.
Thank you. We gotta go. No time. I think we can use the remaining. Please, people, let's manage our time. Those of you, I think yes, I wanted to make this announcement moving forward. Please, those of you panelists, maybe you gotta give us little time. Like for example, we appreciate all of you, but we've been faced with series of challenges, especially with the network, because most of you go behind the scene. And it's seriously affecting the network. So maybe hopefully beginning tomorrow or Wednesday interview, at least if you basically well, then you let us know that maybe you pass through instead of us to be having blank and just too much. That's the announcement I wanted to make. But I can go ahead, Mark and all of you.
Yeah, let it go ahead and go first.
Yeah, maybe you got a minute?
Yes, go ahead, brother.
Yeah. Let me say thanks to the callers, man, and thanks to all the inputs today. The people raising concern, and they got legitimate concerns, and it has to be addressed. The only thing is that when you fail to have structure in place for certain things, these are the kind of, haphazard result you get. It's disappointing. It's embarrassing to the nation. This thing needs to be structurally put in place. But it's unfortunate that when people are not setting their priorities straight, Yeah, I know people are kind of excoriating Amara Kone in order today, but at least he still has the courage to say, and maybe because of his
Well, Monk, I don't know.
so you want people in your army. The army is way short of manpower. Today you want the army. So that there's nothing classified about the structure of our military in Liberia. It's a glaring thing out there. It's an open book. But people need to stop this kind of behavior. It's unfortunate that we didn't address some of these irresponsible behavior that are being exhibited by some of these overzealous Unity Party supporters and lawmakers against their fellow lawmakers that they are equal. It wouldn't address it. But these are the kind of things you get. People are not looking at the priority. They're not looking at the root cause. Until you address the root cause, you know, the environment can say, if you plait the hair over the legs, that hair will loosen up because why? The legs stay in the hair. That's the problem, Mabel. But I don't want to take all
thank
the
you.
time.
Yes,
It's a good time.
thank you, Brother Ebe.
Yeah.
Mr. Dishu, or better say, Ali, any of you, please, we got to go. At least that
Yeah,
manage our little time.
I would just say thank you to the SKTV people, and thanks to all the listeners, and the input were good. And I think tomorrow we should go on what the Vice President interviewed today with the Liberian media. I think we should peruse it and see what we can get out of there. Until then, I say thank you again and good night.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thanks to our callers and thanks to everybody. That was a great show. For those who in the constant habit of saying, okay, yeah, we all grind together, you also saw the national embarrassment that came to our country today. So it should be a warning to everybody. Can't let go graduate. When people are studying, they say, no matter why you study, other will graduate tomorrow. You don't want to pass through the window. You don't want to sit down. You don't even go to school on time. This is what you'll find yourself in today. A big and national embarrassment to our country. You see people, they graduate from 12th grade. The next year, you see them, the same school they graduate from, the teaching in that school. They going for teacher training, not here and they come. But again, it was a great show. God bless America. God bless Liberia. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Brother Ali Monk.
You know, the last caller raised a very salient point, and it says a lot because, like I said, if this recruitment process is a reaction to what happened at the border, and we will thread the needle tomorrow after the vice president issue and the whole thing about sensitive information. You don't just get it and consider an information sensitive. That information must first be declared, whether it's classified information or sensitive. Not anything you consider sensitive. So if the government is recruiting, if this process is solely because of what happened at the border, then how can you accuse lawmaker of committing a crime for talking about your own security vulnerability? You see, when you keep playing politics, it will come back to impact you because there was nothing that Amara Conan said that was wrong. There was nothing that Yeke Koluba said that was wrong. But somehow, this same government, they want to go after the political opponent in the name of classified information when you are doing exactly what these guys are raising.
In the open.
Yeah, in the open. You like the last caller said, it's not common to put people, military public official, on camera on Facebook. Then you say in Guinea that is what you are doing. It's considered sensitive information too. So, you know, but we'll do it tomorrow. I think maybe it's off the radio and we are out of time, but that's something we'll look into tomorrow because the whole nonsense about people committing a crime. Then why are you recruiting? Why you want to be in the military?
Mong is a total nonsense, complete nonsense. And sometimes you get agitated to the point that you don't even know how to phrase the word, what kind of word to use.
But Mom, see what Yantua said. After Amara Kone spoke, Yantua making us to understand that exactly what the president told them that they were not to disclose it is what Amara Kone and spilled the beans. So Yeke have been vindicated because Yeke said that the president met Dumuya and they discussed that the land belongs to Guinea. And he told the senator, based on our military strength, we can't do nothing local our strength, and whatsoever that place belongs to Guinea. So let's just forget about it. So you can be behind the president. You already told the senator this. Come and tell the Liberian people. And when Amara Kone spoke, Nyatue came and said the same thing. He said, this is exactly what the president discussed with us. And he said, we shouldn't discuss it with anybody. Then you can use pay the bill. You need to be investigated. Then Nyatue, you need to be investigated too. Because whatsoever the president discussed with you, that was national security issue.
But Ali, you remember that video that Mabon, I think that Mabon shared sometime last week that had to do a representative in the United States telling you how the depletion of the United States military, this and that, how the other hardware is gone, they need to replenish it and all that kind of thing.
Yes.
Did he commit a crime yet?
No.
They may just telling you the problem of his country is certain things that need to be rectified. So for you to have to peer an elected senator like you to continue to terrorize their friends, their elected officials, you will say for investigation. You're investigative man. I mean, what kind of genuine republic of Liberia has been reduced to so like that, man? This is very unbecoming. What authority have you to on the floor? They may need to be investigated. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So you're telling the country that you are more Liberian than this man. You're telling the country that this man he's not care for your country, but he's from different country. He don't occupy a certain position in your country. That's what it means.
But Abby, don't forget today they send a written communication to the Senate to
the Senate, yeah, but for the Speaker office.
And like I said, that thing will come to blow back in their faces because the thing, we have a bicameral legislature, right? Even though their rules must slightly differ, but it's
that had never happened, man.
Okay. So if you are telling the Senate to act when it comes to Amara Kone, that's why I keep saying if you want to talk about sensitive information, then Amara Kone will even more in detail. But I know they will not expect Amara Kone. And if you cannot expect Amara Kone, then you cannot apply the same not to Yeke. Because we're talking about the same procedure. That the same legislator, you just got two bodies, like I said, it's a bicameral legislature. And now, like what Ali said, if Nyatwaya believed that what Amara Kone said was sensitive, then he also part of the crime. He committed a crime also. Because you cannot hold one standard for one lawmaker and hold another standard for another lawmaker.
Yeah.
All Yeke was saying, a matter of fact, the government doubled down on Yeke's statement by carrying on an emergency recruitment. So then why are you going after this guy for a crime? When you are following the lead.
Delon did a similar thing, and what it did with the Yeke situation was wrong. And they're not prosecuted. They are not prosecuted Delon because Delon is an ally. Now, when they see that you kind of critical up there, the next thing is coming after you. I mean,
Abi, that part coming go for 1 minute when you are done. Wrap it up. But go ahead, Abi, when you're done, and he can take over from there.
No. Coming can go on. He can go on a little bit.
Go ahead, Minaga.
You know what I think about a little bit with Abi? Let's look at maturity here. You remember the situation when Madam Salim and Lawrence Gbagbo and the Ivorian government was shifting blame to Liberians for crossing into Contra as mercenary. You remember? That led to the arrest of some Nigerian, how do you call them? Nigerians.
Oh yeah, I can remember that Nigerian situation. Yeah.
Yes, they were doing Lawrence Gbagbo's time. Yeah.
It's the Nigerian people to know what was unfolding. At that time, I was working with the Chronicle newspaper and Sarafina Ventures and Communication Incorporated. It was a classified information. Yes, it was lingering around national security and the legislators at the time. But see the level of maturity, how they handle it. Our lawmakers were in the know. As a matter of fact, it was not a myth that Liberians were mercenary in Ivory Coast.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a myth. But look at the way they handle our lawmakers then. See how they handle the issue. You know, people shift blame to Zoe and Emmanuel Pena at the time. And then the guy who let the information out know the information came from right in Ivory Coast. It was not from Nigeria. But then people were blaming Madame Salim because they said Madame Salim and not Laurent Gbagbo, but Hassan Ouattara worked for the World Bank together. So she was then in cahoots with him to let Nigerians face justice for what was unfolding. But the thing was nothing new. It was a serious national security implication. But see the level of maturity, Brother Aiden.
Wow.
Before he came to the public space, that was when the Nigerians were arrested.
Arrested. So it was well executed.
When they were released, it was based on reconciliation between our government, the people of Nigeria, because mind you now, we had a situation before then when the late General, this guy, he had a coup d'etat, but it failed. It's investment with Ecoman. It failed. Charles Julu. Just before then, we had a situation with Charles Julu. Then they were also linking LPC. I mean, I can go on and on with a lot of stories, but look at the maturity. That just came with the volunteer that happened. Look at the maturity of our lawmakers then and Madam Shelly. How they handled that situation, that the entire thing never went out of hand. So, it's coming. Our problem with me was, A, you have a community that is set up on national defense. When the war ended, they had something called the Joint Security. 99% of the things that we knew in the media about the AD was because the Joint Security was then having meetings. So then the information was coming from the Defense Ministry to the media. But the sensitive nature of the way they handle things, as compared to these guys, the way they handle information and the information dissemination process, it's like, I want to score a political point on AD. So I'm going to take this information, I'm going to run with it.
Yep.
So I can bring AD on the spot.
Yep.
Yep.
For those of us who work in the media then, who've been around, we can look at the entire thing and say, no, this is a way of scoring political point, because there were many national security issues in that country that some of the lawmakers, that's why I miss Senator Johnson, because when he was around as chairperson of national security at the Senate, there were information, Brother A.B., that couldn't pass through the wall.
No.
He was around.
But let me come in 1 second, Mr. Cummins, right? In the case, you're talking about the level of professionalism, I think what you and AB is talking about, the way how they handle the matter and information you consider classified or sensitive. Don't forget, the president can declassify or classify information.
Yep.
So in your case, dating back to Madam Salif, because the Ministry of Defense is seen as a civilian, it's a civilian ministry. So the information that we're getting through to each journalist were already declassified. That's why it came through the different ministry to journalists. That's the big difference right there. But in today's environment, anything you say, any random person can just say, oh, that classified information. No, that's not how classified information works. The information got to be classified as classified information before you can accuse somebody of committing a crime or by giving classified information.
But Mom, the world over. Who in the United States don't know the military size of the United States?
Yeah.
Everybody it's a public record.
Yeah, the public record, the public information.
That you know the size of the American Army.
We know every Apache helicopter, every aircraft.
You know Apache helicopter, yeah. You know all of the warships to the point they got names.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't understand this kind of overzealous behavior, Mom. But I tell you what, a lot of the things people don't want to say it, but it has a ethnic undertone and a tribal undertone. Reason being, somebody like Amara Kona being a Madingo man, at the end of the day, say, oh, but the man that Guinea here.
Oh, yeah. He signed with Guinea.
He signed with Guinea. No, I mean, you just got to say it as it is, Monk, because until this kind of behavior stop, I have, look, Monk, like Brother Cummings and other people, Monk, we have lived around to see some governments around too. There are just things that are happening now, Monk. It never happened. And for people to be this overzealous, you look at your core equal. Even the pro temp can even tell a city senator move from here today. They aren't talking about an ordinary senator like you. Talking about they will go investigate your peer. and you're demanding that?
But Eddie, I think Pastor Cummings said exactly what you say in terms of weapon aspect for politics too, apart from the tribal sentiment.
Yeah.
It just boiled down to, but you know, some of the things they were saying that the size of this and military-wise, the kind of ammo we get, none of
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end of premise from there. So welcome my life with African.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Clever is who I call you. I can't Sktv benyo. Say my journey, Tina get I say my yamo. And yes, I know money. Emu aye yo. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmaster.
And I dine ya to money, and I sadia ya to money, and I connectly ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I dine ya to money, and I sadia ya to money, and I connectly ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget na ya to money. That's the TV, and I forget na. So she walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmaster.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh in our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the premise from best. To work with my life with us, yeah. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, Sano to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bon County to Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia.